He took the beating to protect the child. Now her alien mother wants him forever. The steel deck of the trade station Nexus 7 rang with the sound of fists meeting flesh. Lewis crumpled against the bulkhead, blood trickling from his split lip, but his arms remained wrapped protectively around the small Velhari child trembling behind him. "Stay back," he rasped, staring up at the 3 Krolath mercenaries towering over him. Their chitinous exoskeletons gleamed under the harsh station lights, mandibles clicking with cruel amusement. The lead Krolath, a scarred brute named Jask, raised his massive fist again. "Stupid human. That child's mother owes us credits. We take the youngling as payment." Lewis tightened his grip on the little girl, no more than 6 in human years, with luminescent purple skin and large, frightened golden eyes. "Over my dead body." "That can be arranged," Jask hissed. The beating resumed. Lewis had been a freight handler on Nexus 7 for 2 years, barely scraping by. But he knew one thing with absolute certainty. He couldn't let these thugs take an innocent child. Every impact sent fresh waves of pain through his ribs, but he didn't move. Didn't let go. The child whimpered his name. "Lewis, it's okay, Kira," he whispered. "I've got you." That's when the temperature in the corridor seemed to drop 20 degrees. "Release him. Now." The voice was quiet, controlled, but it carried the weight of barely contained fury. Orla stood at the end of the corridor, her tall Velhari frame rigid with anger. Her purple skin seemed to glow with an inner light, her silver hair floating as if charged with static electricity. In her 4-fingered hands she held a plasma cutter, still sparking from her work shift. Jask laughed. "The debtor arrives. Your spawning owes—" "I owe you nothing," Orla interrupted, her golden eyes blazing. "That debt was my former mate's. Under Galactic Commerce Law, Article 739, debts incurred by criminal activity are void. My daughter's father was arrested for smuggling 2 cycles ago. Your debt has no legal standing." The Krolath's mandibles clacked uncertainly. Orla took a step forward. "But let's discuss what does have legal standing. Assault on a trade station worker. Attempted kidnapping of a registered dependent. Extortion." Her voice grew colder with each word. "Station security is already en route. I triggered the silent alarm 4 minutes ago." As if on cue, the wail of security klaxons echoed through the corridor. The Krolath exchanged glances, then Jask spat a glob of thick saliva on the deck. "This isn't over, Velhari." "Yes," Orla said softly, dangerously. "It is." The mercenaries retreated, their heavy footsteps fading. The moment they disappeared around the corner, Orla's fierce expression crumbled. She dropped the plasma cutter and rushed to Lewis, her hands hovering uncertainly over his battered form. "Lewis. Oh, stars, Lewis." Her voice broke. Kira squirmed free and threw her small arms around her mother. "Mama, Lewis protected me. He wouldn't let them take me." Orla's eyes met Lewis's, and he saw something there that made his breath catch. Gratitude, yes, but also something deeper, something that looked almost like wonder. "Why?" she whispered, carefully helping him sit up. "Why would you risk this for us?" Lewis winced, pressing a hand to his ribs. "Because it was the right thing to do. Nobody hurts kids. Not on my watch." The medical bay's lights were softer, kinder. Lewis lay on the examination table while the station's medical drone sealed his cuts and applied regenerative gel to his bruises. Orla hadn't left his side, and Kira had finally fallen asleep in a chair, clutching a stuffed creature that looked like a cross between a bear and an octopus. "In all my cycles," Orla said quietly, "I have never witnessed such selflessness, especially from someone outside one's kin group." Lewis shrugged, then immediately regretted it as his ribs protested. "Humans are weird like that, I guess." "Weird," Orla repeated as if tasting the word. "Perhaps, but also remarkable." She hesitated, her fingers twisting together, a Velhari gesture of deep emotion. "Among my people there is a concept. Kithara. It means life debt but also chosen family. When someone risks everything for your offspring, they become Kithara. Part of your family unit forever," Lewis blinked. "Forever?" Orla's luminescent skin darkened slightly, a blush. "It is serious binding. It means you would be part of our lives permanently, that we would care for you as you cared for Kira, that—" She took a breath. "That I would take you as my mate if you were willing." The medical drone beeped, finishing its work, but Lewis barely noticed. He stared at Orla, at the fierce, beautiful alien woman who had been his friend and colleague for months, and saw her fully for the first time. "You don't have to do this out of obligation," he said softly. "Obligation?" Orla's laugh was shaky. "Louis, I have admired you since you first helped me calibrate the docking bay sensors and refused payment. I have cherished the way you make Kira laugh with your terrible jokes. I have—" Her voice dropped to barely a whisper. "I have been too afraid to hope that a human could ever want a Velhari maiden child." Louis reached out, carefully taking her 4-fingered hand in his 5-fingered one. They fit together perfectly, he realized. Different but perfect. I'm nobody special. Orla. Just a freight handler who stood against 3 Kroloth warriors to protect a child who wasn't even his species, she interrupted firmly. Who took a beating without hesitation. Who called my daughter by name and promised her safety. Her golden eyes shimmered with unshed tears. You are everything special, Louis. Everything I could want for myself and my daughter. Kira stirred in her sleep, mumbling something that sounded like Louis, safe. He looked at the child, at Orla, and felt something settle in his chest, a sense of belonging he'd been searching for across the stars. I'm not going anywhere, he promised. Orla smiled, radiant and beautiful, and pressed her forehead to his, the Velhari gesture of deepest affection. Then welcome to our family, Louis. My Cathara, forever. In the cold vastness of space, on a trade station where 1,000 species mingled and commerce ruled all, a human freight handler had done something simple and profound. He had chosen kindness over self-preservation. And in doing so, he had found something humanity had always been searching for among the stars. Home,